Hello everyone. In this video we'll be seeing about tributyl tin hydride. It is a reducing agent Bu3SNH. Okay, tributyl tin hydride. So this tin metal has metallic character than silicon, and it will be in +4 oxidation state. It forms perfectly stable organic compounds. So here if you are seeing in this also, tin is in +4 oxidation state. So in that state it will form stable organic compounds. These compounds are usually known as tannins. And many of which are available commercially. The size of tin atom is larger than carbon and silicon. Hence it forms long covalent bonds that are easily polarized. So thus tin carbon bond is longest among carbon-carbon, silicon-carbon and tin-carbon. This is the longest covalent bond. So organotin chemistry exploits this weakness. Since it is the longest bond, as tin-carbon bonds, they will deliver whatever it is attached to the tin, because it could be easily cleaved to another reagent of the compound. So carbon substituents present on tin can be transferred by radical mechanism due to this weak tin-carbon covalent bond, as well as its polar mechanism, because this is having strong metallic character. So this is highly polarized. Okay, so there are 4 substituents around central tin atom. So in principle all of them could be transferred to tributyl tin hydride. 3 alkyl groups are there. Alkyl groups transfer only very slowly, so that the tributyl stanyl group, the most popular tin based functional group, is generally transferred intact during reactions. So organotins are stable liquids and can be stored, unlike Grignard reagents. Grignard reagent we cannot store that easily. This could be stored. Organotin compounds are more reactive than organosilicon compounds, because the bonds of tin are weaker and tin is more electropositive than silicon. So in this video we will be seeing about tributyl tin hydride, which is used as a reducing agent. So tributyl tin hydride is prepared from tributyl tin chloride and LAH. By this reaction, 3 tributyl for Bu3 SNCl plus LiAlH4 gives 4 Bu3 SNH plus LiAlCl4, and this is used as a reducing agent. So we will see one by one what type of reduction it will do. First is reduction of halides. So tributyl tin hydride is used for the reduction of halides. So first reduction of halides. So tributyl tin hydride is used for the reduction of halides, acid chlorides and aliphatic nitro compounds. So saying are halides, acid chlorides as well as aliphatic nitro compounds. So it has no effect on other functional group. Thus this reagent is a chemoselective reagent. Okay, so it's a chemoselective reagent. It will reduce only alkyl halide, acid chloride and aliphatic nitro compounds. So it is a chemoselective reagent. And tributyl tin hydride is a highly selective reducing agent for halides. The reduction of halides occurs with free radical mechanism. The tin hydrogen bond in tributyl tin hydride is very weak, and it will react with acid halides to replace the halogen in this manner. This tin hydrogen bond is now weak, and it will react with alkyl halide, and this hydrogen will go to here RH, and tributyl tin halide will be forming. That is how this reaction is happening. Free radical initiators including UV light accelerate the reaction, and it is slowed by radical scavenger. So mechanism of the reaction. So it involves like if free radical reaction mechanism is involved means it will be having initiation, propagation, etc. And for the termination, radical scavengers will be used. Okay, so so initiation is in this way. Radical initiator S dot. Okay, it's a radical initiator that will be reacting with tributyl tin hydride, and you will be getting tributyl tin radical plus SH. So this is the initiation step. Now what will happen? This tributyl tin radical reacts with our alkyl halide, getting butyl tin halide plus alkyl free radical. Okay, now this alkyl free radical will react with another molecule of tributyl tin hydride. Okay, then this RH plus tributyl tin radical will be forming. So this will be going on like this. So in many cases, the presence of radical catalysts such as AIBN, azo base, it is essential for this reaction. So this is called radical initiator. So this is indeed needed mainly in case of acid like alkyl chlorides, alkyl bromides and alkyl iodides. AIBN is used. So this is done in presence of UV light or peroxides. If AIBN is there means there is no need of peroxides. AIBN is azo base isobutyronitrile. The structure is N double bond N CH3 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 CCH3 CH3 CH3. So this is the radical initiator which is used in the case of alkyl halides. The reactivity order for different halides is given like this. Benzyl halide is more reactive, then allyl halide, then comes tertiary alkyl halide, then secondary alkyl halide, then comes primary alkyl halide, then vinyl halide, and least for aryl halide. And the relative rates of abstraction of halogen by tributyl tin radical depends upon the halogen also, and that reactivity is in the order iodine. Alkyl iodides will be highly reactive, then bromide, then chloride and fluoride, like that. So tributyl tin hydride shows a substantial selectivity towards polyhalogenated compounds. So in that case, it will permit the partial dehalogenation. So the reason for this greater reactivity of more highly halogenated carbon toward reduction is because that the stabilizing effect that the remaining halogen has on radical intermediate. So if you are seeing an example, RCH2X and RCHX2. So this is monohalogenated one, this is dihalogenated. So generally we can say polyhalogenated one. So after halogen abstraction by this tributyl tin radical, you will be getting RCH2 dot, right, plus Bu3 SNX. So this is the radical that you will be getting from this halide. And if you are having this one, the radical which is formed will be RHX like this. Okay, plus this one. So here this will be more stable and this will be less stable. Why means in this halogen will be having vacant d orbitals. So the stability of this radical will be more. Here there is no such case. So because of this halogen, this radical generated from polyhalogenated compound will be more stable. So this selectivity has been used to reduce gem dihalides in monohalides. So suppose I am taking a gem dihalide like chlorine, fluorine. Now if you are employing tributyl tin hydride, okay. Now here if you are seeing chloride will be easily cleaved, right? So in that we have seen that order. So in this case you will be getting here fluoride, here H, and here the radical form will be stabilized by vacant d orbital of fluorine. So you can easily replace halogen in a dihalogenated compound. Another example I would like to show you is this one, tributyl ring, keto group and 2 chlorines. So in this case also, if you are employing tributyl tin halide, one of the chlorines will be replaced by hydrogen like this. So some examples I have shown here for the removal of or reduction of halides, alkyl halides. So this is tertiary butyl group and cyclohexene group, and here you have alkyl halide. So if you are employing tributyl tin halide, the product that you will be getting is like this. So here hydrogen will be coming. And in the second example, this is a dihalogenated one, or you can say gem dihalide. So one of the bromines will be replaced. So in that case, here double bond, one hydrogen, the other one bromine. Here also one is replaced by hydrogen, the other one is bromine. In this case also, one of the bromines will be replaced by hydrogens. Here. So this is the product that you will be getting. In this one application is that dehalogenation followed by intramolecular carbon-carbon coupling. For example, I have taken an aliphatic alkyl halide with an alkene over here, and after this reaction you will be getting a cycloalkane. Okay, so this 6 halo alkenes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 carbon alkenes, and 6 halo alkynes also, if it is alkyne also, undergo dehalogenation followed by a intramolecular CC coupling reaction. So a 5-membered ring will be formed. Let us see how this is happening. So first, this is our halogen compound, and when this is reacting with our tributyl tin radical, what will happen means this will be cleaving like this, and you will be getting Bu3SNX like this. Okay. So this is basically homolysis. So you have to show the half-headed arrow. So what you will be getting then? Here you will be getting a radical. Okay. Now because of the presence of this will also undergo homolysis. Now you can write this as here radical, here radical, here radical. Okay. Now there is 2 ways of ring closure. Either this one and this one can ring close, and you can get a 6-membered ring, or it could be by this manner, this one and this one. It will lead to 5-membered ring one like this. So actually this is formed because formation of 5-membered ring is kinetically controlled. So this is the product formed after this reaction. So ABN, which is the radical initiator. The structure I think previously I have shown over here is CH3 group by mistake. Okay, so this is isobutyrone nitrile. This is the structure of the radical initiator. So what will happen? This radical initiator, if it is radiated or under thermal condition, radicals are generated. How this is generated means, here cleavage of C nitrogen bond is happening like this. So here nitrogen will be getting lone pair, so minus N2, that will be forming N triple bond N. Okay, then you would be getting 2 CH3 C CH3 dot Cn. So this is the thing which is formed, and this will be reacting with our tributyl tin hydride. Okay, as we have seen in the previous step, and you will be getting here CH3 CH CH3 SN Cn plus Bu3 SN dot. Now this Bu3 SN dot will be reacting with our alkyl halide and so on. So this is the role of isobutyrylnitride. This is another example that I would like to discuss in this intramolecular carbon-carbon coupling. This you can also say it as radical cyclization. So the condition is tributyl tin hydride and AIBN. So what will happen? Obviously, this carbon Br bond will be breaking, and you will be getting N here double bond SO2 PH here radical. Okay, in the next step what will happen? So homolysis here happening, and you will be getting bond over here. In the next step there is a possibility of coupling of this one and this one, then you will be getting 6-membered one, but most preferable one will be this one and this one, because the kinetically favored one is 5-membered one. So the product that you would be getting is a 5-membered ring like this. Next application is reduction of acid chlorides. So acid or chlorides on reduction with tributyl tin hydride, you will be getting either aldehyde or ester. Ester means RCOCl plus tin hydride. You will be getting RC double bond O CH2 in this manner. So acid chlorides will be giving aldehyde or ester on treatment with tributyl tin hydride. So for example, here I have taken bromo acid halides of benzoic acid. So on treatment with TBTH you will be getting benzaldehyde. In another case, PSCOCl on treatment with tributyl tin hydride, 65% of benzaldehyde and 35% of the ester will be getting. Next application is third one, reduction of carbonyl compounds. So the addition of the tributyl tin hydride across C double bond O bond of carbonyl compound gives alkoxides which readily react with water or other protic solvents to give alcohol. So in effect you are reducing carbonyl compounds to corresponding alcohols. So this is a ketone I have taken, tributyl tin hydride, and in order to show the mechanism I am writing in this manner. And as you know, tin is electropositive nature, so this is del plus, and this is hydride donor like metal hydride reduction. So here this is electron negative, this is electron deficient. Okay, so now what will happen? This hydride will be attacking this will be acting against hydride over here, this will be shifted over here, and you will be getting the alkoxide. So alkoxide means RCrCHO. This is the alkoxide part. Now tin butyl ring. Now if you are treating it with protic solvents like water, you will be getting corresponding alcohol over here. So this portion will be, sorry, this is like C like this. Okay, so RCHOH. So since this is a ketone, you will be getting secondary alcohol. This is reduction of nitro compounds. So tertiary butyl tin hydride is an excellent reagent for the replacement of tertiary and some secondary aliphatic nitro group by hydrogen. So you have to make in mind that it is for aliphatic nitro compounds only. Okay. So for example, I have taken a secondary nitro compound which is an aliphatic, it is not in the ring. Okay, aliphatic carbon it is attached, and here if you are doing that reaction, this nitro group is reduced by hydrogen. You will be getting corresponding hydrocarbon. So most of the functional groups like CC double bond, CC triple bond, carbonyl compound, CHO, HO are reduced only in the presence of AIBN because it's a radical initiator. But halo group is reduced in UV light usually. Thus the reagent is very selective for the reduction of halo group in presence of other reducing groups. So the important applications of tributyl tin hydride is in the reduction of alkyl halides and in the reduction of acyl halides, and also aliphatic nitro compounds reduction. Okay, and the most important one is radical cyclization. Radical cyclization. Okay, that is intramolecular carbon-carbon coupling. So that's about all about tributyl tin hydride.